And we are live. Let's get this live on Instagram. We got some live seller calls going, guys. Let me get this into our Facebook group. Okay. If you're hopping in here, let me know where you're from. Let me know what you're doing. Nick Dash Real Estate, what's going on, bro? We're going to get these seller calls in. We're going to go over our weekly recap from last week. Last week was a huge week. As far as lead flow goes. Oh man, I was just doing all this typing. It wasn't even there. Um, 3,000 from Lead Zolo last week. This challenge has been way harder than I thought it would be, but that's a part of the game. Looks like we found ourselves a killer sales rep in Bryce from the Central Valley community. Shout out, Bryce. We hired on, 6 total sales reps, and only one of them lasted. 6 total sales reps, and only one of them lasted. A reason a lot of them didn't last was because setting the standards in the company as far as like, hey, you just got to be on time. One guy left on the first day. He left in like the middle of the day saying he had to go do something, which again, you work from home. I get it. But if it's your first day of work, we got to do a little bit better than that. We had another guy who today just didn't show up for the second half of the day. We had one guy who didn't show up the first day. One guy who showed up 15 minutes late to the first day. And I was like, that's honestly just not the best way to start off working together, in my opinion. So we've been cycling through that. We got a killer with Bryce who's rolling now. And now we're going to knock out some of these calls. We currently have, I'm going to have to write down 2 of these. So 1, 2, 3. We have 3 deals that we won't make any money on. We're honestly going to lose $400 on them each. 1 in Illinois, 1 in Bangor, Maine. 1 we're canceling. That's Kathy Gallagher. We're going to cancel her. We have another one that's going up. And the biggest takeaway from those is we just got to be more aggressive, dude. Because we have 1 in West Virginia that, I mean, we have a $31,000 spread on it right now, and we haven't even gotten any calls today. 1 in Bangor, Maine. We're just offloading it. It was the first novation that we tried, and I got it down. Like I got the pitch going, and we have a buyer lined up. We'll see if he even goes through with it. 1 of them here in like Hot Springs. We'll see if we get anything going with this. We have it up at 50. We've gotten offers at like the 45 range, but people are like scarce. 1 off of Stonebridge in Illinois. We are currently getting this one assigned right now. We shot ourselves in the foot because we sent it out at the lowest point at 180, and there's 1 buyer just grinding us out. They're the only buyer in the fucking area. But the dude's going into foreclosure, so we wanted to make sure he's taken care of. We have another one that we should get assigned tomorrow. That'll be a good one. Another one that we're going to have to renegotiate. Another one, no bites on. We dropped it today. one that'll go up at the end of this week. It's taken forever. We've had this under contract for like a month, and it hasn't even hit the MLS yet. And then we have 4 new ones. One we're waiting on photos, another one we're waiting on an eviction, another one we're waiting on photos, and then one more we're waiting on photos. One of them sub 2. 2 of them are actually sub 2. One of them is a regular novation, and then the other one is a novation too. So none of them are traditional wholesales that are like in the pipeline that need to go live, which is interesting. All right. We got this new lead that just came in. Let's see here. Here we go. What's going on, Mike? Can you guys hear my can you guys hear everything? The dialer? Nothing. No answer. We'll send her an SMS. Hey, Kalani, did you say you sent in this one as a test? Oh, we're good. Okay, no answer on that one. That lead just came in. We texted her. Now we've got tons of great leads. We finally have Bryce with us who's going to help us catch up on these things. This Michael guy, dude. Generally, when leads come in and they just say, send me an offer, I'm not calling them. All right, let's say, hey, if you are interested in hopping on a call, we can do that, but we can't do anything else. We'll call this guy. Family owned, family operated. He's a good guy. We've been going back and forth for a while. What's going on, my man? How you doing? Awesome. I'm glad to hear you're doing all right. I'm doing good. Thank you for the photos, but we for sure won't be able to come up to 30 grand if that's what it looks like. Like there's a house that is 100% remodeled that's for sale for 60 grand down the street. We're gonna have to drop in quite a bit of cash just to even get it up to that. So if they wanted to do 20, awesome. I know she said like, "Hey, if you're at 30, I can do it." But that's just not something that we'd just lose money, honestly. Awesome. Anything else I can do for you? Okay. Yeah, send me the info and the asking price. And what was your name? Larry? Thanks, Larry. All right, I'll talk to you soon. You have a great day. We've been negotiating with that guy back and forth for, I want to say, 2 weeks, and we've just been kind of dragging it out. Next lead. Because we have quite a few leads that we're just following up with. And now with this other, with Bryce hopping in, it's going to be really, really helpful. We have one lead we could buy at 5 grand. I'm not really feeling it. Donald Thomas responded. Where's he at? So this guy, we offered him, he wanted 30, we offered him 25. He told us to fuck off. He's officially back. Yeah, they're right here. White ones? I don't have white ones. They're in my backpack downstairs. Let's just call this guy, see what we get. Hey, Donald, it's Stratton. We've been texting back and forth for the night, last little bit about that house in Osala on 4th Street. Can you hear me? I can hear you. We've been talking about this house on 4th Street for a little bit. I got your last text message and I'm kind of confused. Can you explain it? Oh, and so how much did you want again? No. They hit you with like a code enforcement lien? Man. And how big was the house again? It's 600 square feet? Okay. Mhm. And is she still on board? Is she still on board with selling it? Okay. And how Donald, how negotiable were you on that 60? Um, I mean, if I told you we could get you 50 in 30 days, would you be open to that? Uh-huh. You you wanna give her a call, and I'll give you a call tomorrow? Okay, what do you want me to tell her? Alright, let me see what I can get going. Of course. I'll talk to you soon, Donald. Yep, let me give her a call. All right. So this one, just fucking, this one I shot myself in the foot. He originally wanted 30 grand. And I tried just to not give him what he wanted. I was like, hey, I'll do 125. Well, I said I'll do 25 instead of 30. He got pissed, didn't want to sell. To where in all reality, if we would have just done the 30, got it in writing, got it up and done, we could have assigned it at 70. So we could have made like a 40K assignment. Instead, and now we're kind of shit out of luck, and I got to call it his ex-girlfriend and be like, hey, he wants to take 50, but here's what it looks like. We'll see how this goes. Now we're gonna have to text her. All right. No answer from them. We'll see. That one's still a good one that we could work on. So there's two with offers made. Terry, that one's 5 grand. Kenneth Rogers, 40. Let's see. Our conversion with Lead Zolo is about 1 in 20. I would say the biggest issue I've had as of late is number one, we can't get a hold of a lot of the leads, but we get a lot of their JV leads and like their junk leads. And then the other big issue, I got so bogged down, I couldn't even get to the leads fast enough. So like I would hop on the phone and then I would automatically qualify them, just put them in due diligence, comp them and try and get a hold of them again. But because we had so many leads come in last month, I just completely got overwhelmed. Like it was crazy. Luckily, we have Bryce now, and he can hop on. Let's call Bobby. Hey, Bobby, this is Stratton. We spoke a while ago about your mom's house. Did you ever end up talking to her about it? Oh, sorry. I always get your name wrong. Um, we spoke about your mom's house, and you were going to present her our offer, and then I never really heard back from you. I'm not even sure. Let me double check. I think it was around there. What did your mom say about the 55? What was the main reason? How far off were we? How far off were we? She wanted 60? No. So so she doesn't even want to sell it anymore? So your mom honestly doesn't. No, I don't think anybody's gonna pay 80. That one's tough. Thank you. That one's hard. My the way I messed up on that one, she was working for her mom. Whenever I didn't do a good job of getting in front of like the main decision maker and hopping on the phone with her. But it's a vacant house. Like it's a vacant house, and our offer was too low. We'll put her on an Omni Drip Drip campaign that is built specifically for that, and then we'll just call her again later. Rocky, where are you marketing? Would be my big question because I'm doing like nationwide stuff off of 3,600. I think that would be hard to convert depending on like if you're doing 3,600 a month in like LA, you're not gonna convert two out of that. Um, but out of like 20 true leads, I would say you probably could, Rocky. But I mean, 3,600, that's probably one deal. Like it's like one to two. But cost per lead has gone up quite a bit. If you can implement other types of exit strategies, I think that'll increase like your contract rate. But like if you're going like 180 a lead, I would say you'll probably get one to two. You're not going to get much more out of that. It's just like the numbers game. If I go to I can't exactly filter down by our Florida stuff, but we haven't really converted anything in Florida yet. So I'm guessing our Florida stuff is just a little bit more competitive. And the Florida stuff we've been getting a lot of condos, or we've been getting people with absolutely zero equity, and it's just been a shit show. So like let's say they have zero equity and they bought it within the last 2 years. Bro, there's nothing we can do with that. Like we can't monetize that in any way. Their interest rates are too high. I was reaching out to one of my friends to see if he wanted one, and it was just a no-go. That one's a no-go. Let's call Michael Garrett. We've been following up with him forever. This one's a good one. This one's a duplex in Alaska for 100, and duplexes are selling at like 300. Rocky, you're with internet leads. You're always going to get bad leads. You just refund them. 1 in 20 true net leads is where we're at. No answer from him. Kalani's downstairs just stress cleaning. I just said you're downstairs cleaning hard. I can hear it for sure. Now we got another one. Let's see. Out of those 420, Rocky, last month was so off because I honestly fucked it off. We won't do 20 deals off of the 420. Our conversion's been terrible lately. If I look at it, right now our biggest issue is so overloaded I couldn't get anybody on the phone. So we have 412 active leads, 11 in ready for offer, 25 in due diligence, 12 in offers made that were like working. But we have 120, 130, 140 leads who we haven't gotten on the phone yet. So that's where the majority of our deal flow is between that and then pushing through our due diligence stuff. Right. Like I got one here in St. Louis. I got to call him tomorrow. We got a bunch of them in here that we need to push forward. I would say we'll probably do 15 to 20 out of those. But I'm seeing like a 90-day life cycle on these with most of our leads. Like most of our leads is a 90-day life cycle. To where if I look at our properties that we have like under contract right now, so 2 of them in the beginning of July still aren't active yet, and we got 1 on the 1st of August. But yeah, most of these are like a 90-day. And then we have another one here. And that one will be shit. That one will be for sure like a 90-day. It takes 90 days for anything to convert off of these leads is what I'm seeing. And we kind of got overloaded. Like I said, my biggest mistake is I just got overloaded with the leads and I couldn't get to them fast enough. Luckily, we have great partners and they're just like, hey, we'll just keep sending them over to you. And I would say now with novations, we're converting better. And the one thing that's prepped me for this is like, so we got 1 novation, 1 wholesale, and 2 sub 2s under contract. The hard part is I'm the only one who knows how to like really negotiate anything besides a wholesale. Rocky, I'm not worried about hedge funds. I put everything on the market anyways. Like I don't need to I'm back. I'm back. All right. So this guy, we made him an offer. And one thing that's nice with another rep is you can bounce. Now you can have the other rep call the new people. Or call people who went dark or whatever else. And so they can help out with that. Can you guys see my screen now? My biggest selling point on novations, for a lot of our stuff, it's just kind of it's semi-rural, and so we just tell them like, hey, there's no way you're going to sell this thing to a cash buyer the way it is. Why don't we just partner up? We'll handle all the renovations if anything comes up in order for this thing to get sold, and then we'll just mark it up if there is anything. That's how we've been able to pitch our novations. We don't have a lot of them. This one isn't live yet. Bubbles was live. Janet's was live. We just tell them like, hey, we're just gonna have to pre-market this because it's out in the middle of nowhere. Veronica, this one was like, hey, if you want this number, we're gonna need 90 days to get this thing sold for you. And I didn't price it right. This was our very first one, and I thought we had it at 180. It's actually at 190. We put it on the market at 200, and we have a buyer at like 190. And for me, it's just easier to fulfill for the person, get it off the books, and call it a day, and like learn the lesson. So that way we can, again, just negotiate a lot harder and go lower. Same thing with Wilma. She wants like 40, and it's a 50,000, and we have it on the market for 50. We are probably going to need to go back and renegotiate it like for like 30 to 20. Kathy was an ovation that Greg did. Same thing. It was in a semi-rural market. We're going to cancel the deal today. And he was like, hey, this is in the middle of fucking nowhere. Like, if you want us to do this, this is the way it's going to go. With James, we didn't start off as an ovation. We thought we had tons of spread. We got it at 180. And we sent it out at 200 ARV 275 with like 10 grand worth of work. And there just wasn't a ton of activity in the area. Is what we should have seen, because there's really only like a small group of buyers over there, and they just fucking kick your balls in. And the dude's going into foreclosure, and so essentially like, hey, we can do this. We're probably not going to make any money on it, but we're going to get this sold for you because we told you we would. William Walden, he wanted 42. I told him, hey, if you want 42, we're going to have to put it on the market. Julia, that one's a wholesale. Gerald, we're going to have to go back and renegotiate that. The house is gutted already. Kelly, same thing. Like, hey, we'll put this on the market, see if we can get any offers, and then we'll do some repairs if there's repairs needed. And then David, I don't know how Greg pitched David, but we have that at 65. We're putting it on the market at 100. So we, when we're pitching them, the biggest thing is we pitch that we can just make repairs for them on their behalf. And I'd say the rural novations are the easiest ones to do, at least for me. Let me see here. I'm just going through our leads now. And then what I do, I slowly just shift into the Pacific Standard Time as the day gets later. So that way I can call through all our leads, because in about 30 minutes, we're not going to be able to call our Texas leads anymore. So all I do is I just go and I'll filter all my leads and simply by TX, and then we'll just get it going. Because is anybody over here on the East Coast? Streaming bogs down my computer so much. Okay, here we go. So now at this part of the day, I just put in TX because we don't really get anything west of Texas. Hi, Blanca. This is Stratton. You reached out to us about selling your property in Alamo, Texas. How you doing? Is now a good time for you to talk? Yeah, no problem. All right. Thanks, Blanca. All right. Well, there's a touch point, and now she'll just be thrown back into the mix. Indian dude. This person in Sugarland, I think, could be good. Whenever it just goes straight to voicemail or like it just cuts off, I like to put those people in our no contact bucket. And then they're still on our drip campaign. We talked to Benny Hernandez yet? Let me see. Rocky, we don't use anything else but Lead Zolo. Lead Zolo is hello. Hi, Jennifer. This is Stratton. We've been going back and forth about your house on Lake Jackson. Is now a good time for you to talk? Can I call you tomorrow morning? Okay. Sounds good. Thank you, Jennifer. Have a great night. What's going on, Trev? We're implementing some innovations still, Trev. But I'm not as bold as you going out there and doing full-fledged rehabs with strangers. Hey, Jennifer. Oh, no problem. Have a great night. She's for sure faded. Next lead. It's Jennifer. We don't want to call her again. We don't want to call Benny or Blanco. Let's go back out to our leads. Looks like we've talked to this lady before. Getting these people on the phone is this woman texts us back too, which is what's crazy. Super frustrating, but well. What's going on, Jay? Oops, one of our lights went out. Sorry about that, guys. Now we're back. Let me know if you guys can hear me in the comments. So, yeah, 420 leads is a lot of volume, bro. A lot of volume. On StreamYard? No, we're good. It looks like we're about to end this stream. My computer's crashing out on me. All right, guys, I will talk to you tomorrow.